Hey everybody! In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you just a quick little way that you can pat your cat while you're trying to do a serious video for work. Involuntary cat patting. Just kidding. I'm going to show you how to use creative corners to kind of change up the way your stencils look, how to use them with stamps, how to do off-edge stamping. It's been a while since I've used this tool in a video, and I wanted to run you through all of the different things that you can do. One of my favorite ways to use creative corners is with stencils. You can take the different triangular pieces and you can sort of mask off different areas on your card that you want to be not stenciled. And then you have these fun angles that you can stencil up to so that you have an angled stenciled portion on your card. It's really easy. You don't have to use masking paper, masking tape. So it's kind of a no waste process, which I love. So I'm going to take what is arguably my favorite color of Hero Arts ink, which is caramel. It's just a sunny, kind of warm color that I think kind of makes everything look a little bit vintage, and I love it. And I am just ink blending right up to the edge of the creative corner that I chose. Now notice that I put the creative corner against the right rail of the Misty because that is going to become important later on. Suspense. Are you all in suspense? Stamping is so suspenseful. It just is. Okay, so you can also use the creative corners to bump out your card in the base of the Misty so that you can do off-edge stamping, which is what I'm going to do. So first, I want to line up, this is a border stamp and it's a seamlessly repeating border stamp with coffee beans. And I'm going to line it up on the edge of the stenciled area, but if I use the same corner against the rail of the Misty, the way I had it positioned before, I know I'm going to get exactly the same angle between the beans and the stenciled portion. So it's just a great way to just kind of perfect your card design, make sure that everything is matching in terms of angles. It's just fun. Just a different way that you might have forgotten about. It might have been a while since you've seen a technique with these. So I'm stamping these little coffee beans, and they also are in a cute little pattern. So you wouldn't even have to color these like coffee beans. It's just kind of a fun pattern stamp. So you can use it however you want. But if you don't use it for coffee, what's wrong with you? What's actually wrong with you? I love coffee. Anyway, I'm going to clean the stamp because I need to move it over. And if you put the corner back in, again, you can make sure you have the same angle. You'll need to pick the right side of your stamp, but you can see that it's too far over. So I can just move this. I can bump it up with the little L-shaped creative corner, and I can still use the triangle just lined up against the edge of the card. So it's not lined up against the rail of the Misty this time. It's lined up against my card. And then, of course, you can line up the stamps, which makes sense, and pick those up. Now, you can pick up the stamps with the corner still in the bed of your Misty because the depth of them was made to make it so that you can align stamps and still be able to pick them up without removing that alignment guide. So that is a useful little tip with the foam in there. They don't interfere with your clear stamps at all. Take the foam out. If you have cling stamps, they won't interfere with the stamps at all. Now, this is seamlessly repeating on both sides, this stamp. So not just end to end, but also top to bottom, you can repeat this pattern. So this can make full card fronts. It can make scrapbook pages, whatever. I love repeating stamps. So I will just cover up this last little bit. This time I can have the cardstock in the corner of the Misty just to cover up that last one because it's going off of both edges. And then I'm going to color these in. They're stamped in black, but I'm going to color them in brown. And I'm going to do 2 little highlighting tricks that I think you'll like. So we already have a nice warm coffee themed card, but I'm going to use the fine tip on my Graphit markers to color the rest. I like to test out the markers on my scratch paper before I commit to the combo of browns that I'm going to use. So I'm just kind of scribbling a couple of these out here just to see what's going to work for my lightest color and what's going to work for my darkest color, because I do want these to look dimensional and have just a little bit of a highlight. So I have to, experiment a little bit before I can get to the right combo. I don't know why my hair is like sticking in the frame right now. You probably wouldn't have noticed if I hadn't pointed out, but it's driving me crazy while I'm editing. Just so you know, I'm experiencing a lot of trauma seeing this. I think it's because splotchy's on my neck at this point. We'll see. Now what I'm doing is I'm adding the dark portion kind of at the edges of the beans and then the light portion in the center. So you know how coffee beans are shiny in the middle? That's exactly the look I'm going for. And I have to say, I think I pulled it off. I think it looks pretty good. So it's easier if you just go do all the dark portions and then come back and do all the light portions. So I'll kind of speed up this process so that you're not watching my hair come into the frame for, 5 times as long as you would be if I was doing this at regular speed. But you get the point. You know what this is going to look like colored. So we'll skip to the end. Here's another little close-up. Looks pretty, really looks like little coffee beans. I like it a lot. And you can see how it kind of coordinates with that caramel ink too. I could have more closely coordinated the markers, but let's face it, I'm lazy. So there you can see what that light shading, dark shading does to make them look more realistic. I think it's great, but I'm going to go one more step and I'm going to add some white gel pen highlights. Now the key when you're doing kind of an overall pattern like this is to try to do it somewhat randomly, maybe not on every bean or not on every bean in the exact same place. That's going to kind of draw people's eye around the pattern that you're highlighting and not look like it's just a repeating pattern that's all exactly the same. I only use the Sakura white gel pen. It's the one true gel pen. And you can see how cute that is, how that adds so much just to have that little highlight. And you can also kind of see how if you did this in different colors, this is just a really cute pattern stamp. You could do this for anything. You could make it look like tiles. You could do anything you want to do. So here is the finished card. I added the little coffee cup and coffee beans from the set in a complementary color. And you can head over to my blog for more information. And thanks so much for watching.